coming at you live from Electric Lemonland Recording Studios. This is Goose Christian from Armament with special guest we got here today. Who the hell are you?
My name is Bryon. I am the vocalist and guitarist for Armament.
Alrighty. Now, let's you take us through what you got here. Some nice stuff you got here for you.
All right. Equipment-wise, I am running a Jackson KVXT. It's a string-through Jackson King V. Yep, I already said it, and now I'm tripping over my words. It's neck-through. I love it. You get the same build quality that you get with the American Jacksons, but it's made overseas, so the wood's a lot lighter. It sounds a little twangier than the American Jackson King V neck-throughs, but in a way, it's kind of cool. It adds a different kind of element to the sound. As you can see, I busted the shit out of the body on here. You know, it looks fucked up with the metallic, like felon blue kind of paint, and then you have the fucking the pink beveling. And I took the finish off the neck because I really like an unfinished neck. Although I did have to add some oil to it, so this way, you know, it didn't get all nasty with my sweat and fucking shit from my fingers. I usually clean this end of it, my fretboard, and my frets and everything else with gun oil. Right now I'm using just a plain old little graphite nut. You know, I didn't want to put a brass nut on here. I didn't want to have a Floyd Rose locking nut because, I mean, it's just more than I would have to tinker with, and it would also add to the twinginess of the sound. I'm running through a Seymour Duncan SH6. I love the shit out of it. If you don't know the SH6, if you're going to look it up, it's the Seymour Duncan Distortion. I'm proudly using and have been using for probably 10 years of my playing. I've been using GHS boomers, and right now I'm running the 10 to 52 gauge. Oh no, I'm sorry, 10 to 46. For my amplifier, let's see if I can move this here. Sorry, there's a microphone I'm supposed to be talking into. Alright, now if you could take a peek. In the last interview, you noticed that Goose was using the Marshall 2099, which is right there, this lovely thing here. And I myself, you can't see it behind the mic stands really well, but that there is my Marshall JCM 2000. It's a dual Super Lead 100. It's running EL34 power tubes. I like the EL34s over the 6L6s or the KT88s and all the rest of those kind of tubes just because the EL34s add a really nice warm element to your sound. I'm running those through an AVT cab. It's a 412. It's got Celestion greenbacks. It's a great sounding cabinet, really extra gritty, but it has a lot of, I would say, a really smooth breakup because of the greenbacks are really gritty sounding speaker, and then you're running through the nice smooth EL34s, so it actually sounds pretty good. And then I'm using monster cables.
Alright, sounds awesome. It definitely leaves you with an interesting sound, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I would say it's more of a percussive sound. There's not a lot of bite on the low end, only because I like to leave room for the bass guitar, and I like to leave room for our drums to have all that boominess and just that thunderous sound that you get from a really well mic'd up drum set and a really well mic'd up, you know, bass guitar and bass amp and bass cab and everything else. So you want all that low end frequency, and if you put all that low end frequency in a guitar, it's just going to muddy the mix up, and it's just going to sound like crap. So I like to keep my sound as percussive and tight as possible.
Alright, sounds like a good philosophy. Now, what do we got for our material here? What are we working on?
Right now, we are working on our song, Washington Goes to War, which is off of the first record, Broken World Order. Broken World Order was released as a demo a while back. It was for free for download. We had a few thousand downloads on it. It was amazing how fast it had spread. But Armament, you know, after having, you know, the demo come out, we received a lot of reviews, and the reviews actually helped us, you know, I wouldn't say sell because there was no monetization between people who were downloading the music and people who, you know, stuck with the band, and, you know, there was no monetization between those people and us. So it was all a free download, but we ended up selling, I believe it was like 2,000 copies. 2,000 copies worth of a CD, but it wasn't a CD, it was all downloaded off of the website on Reverb Nation. Broken World Order consists of Washington Goes to War, Red Rum, Troops of Doom, Recall, Mustache Ride, which is a bass and drum solo for Goose here, and it was an amazing track. Goose is actually going to be laying it down with his new wah pedal and running it through exactly the Marshall 2099. Yeah, it's a great record. It's definitely got that old school thrash metal throwback sound. We don't like doing whole modern metal sound. We did it for a while with a couple of side projects and things that we had done in the past. It was okay, but it's not where we felt at heart. So now that we finally are doing something that's for us, it's not just for like, oh, we want to do big shows and shit like that. No, we decided to say, you know what, fuck it. If we're going to make it with our music, we're going to make it doing something we love doing, and something we're completely passionate about. So that's why we're doing the old school thrash metal sound. Rather than doing something that everyone else does and all the other bands do. It's no longer an original sound. So we're just kicking it back to what we know best, which is thrash metal.
Alright, sounds awesome. Well, heard from here first from Bryon Berry of Armament. This is Lemurland Studios. Yeah.